Hello, everyone. Uh, I'm very happy that you want to find out how you might make more and different types of embellishments for your junk journals, especially in the Bohemian or Gypsy style. Uh, it's a lot of fun, and it's so free that you can use anything you've got to do that with, as long as it stays pretty much in the color themes and the spirit of the Bohemian decor. Now, Bohemian decor is very freestyle, very colorful, very much into natural fibers. Um, so anything that you have that's comes into play, that's good. Bohemian culture too is about tasseling and beading and all those types of things that kind of are lost arts in the fibers. And so those things were used a lot by those cultures to embellish things. Now, this project is what I call the Bohemian view. And what I started with was a simple page that was sized to the size of the journal that I like, which is 5.5 by 8. And I have a simple piece of paper cut. It's black and it's cut to that size. And I like to do that because it makes it easy for me to work with as I'm layering in my elements. I first started with the idea that I wanted to create an indoor Bohemian decor theme. And so I thought, well, I would like to do this as if I'm inside looking out. And so the first thing that I placed on this piece of paper was an image that I cut out of a magazine, a porch image, looking out on a porch, you might say, something that I thought fit the Bohemian theme. And then I wanted to put what I would call a window treatment, a Bohemian decor in my curtains that would give the impression that you're in a Bohemian room decorated in Bohemian style and you're looking outside. So the first thing to do this, to accomplish this, was to find a magazine image, something along this line. Now, it doesn't have to be perfectly sized or anything like that, because you're going to cover it with a lot of fabric. But again, this looked to me, it has the beginnings of a Bohemian style with the very natural fibers, the florals, the nature theme, the guitar here in the side, the music is here, and simplicity. And so that's how this started. This started with the picture inside. Okay, I'd glued that on with a glue stick. Then you give a little bit of thought about layering. How am I going to layer this up? Realizing that certain things are in the background, certain things are not. So the first thing I layered on was this bottom part, which it can be whatever you think it is. I'm thinking like a table cloth, or perhaps the edge of something that has been decorated with fabric and tassels and things like that. Whatever it does, it creates that bottom part for me and covers that bottom part of this page down here. Now, you could do that with a paper element if you wanted to, but Bohemian for me means fabric, and so I do that with fabric like that. All right. Then the next thing that I did was I decided I wanted these little curtain elements on the side. So what I did there was, let me find that, found me a piece of fabric that had a lot of different colors in it. And after I had sewn that piece on the bottom, then I took this piece and I started building curtains with it on the side. So you could see how that would work. Just decide how you want to do it, whatever fabrics you want to use. So you cut them and you put them in there. And then what I did was I sewed that down on the outside edge just to keep it stable where I wanted it. Then you can see that I pinched that fabric together, put two little pieces of lace that kind of simulated a tie back for these curtains so you could see through the window better. Then I went to the top of my page after I had gotten the bottom and the sides done, and I auditioned pieces of lace until I got one that I thought would make a good curtain. Here you see it here on the underneath side. Okay, now that was like a panel in a window, but I needed the top part, and I wanted tassels because I just think tassels are so much Bohemian and Gypsy for me, and so that's where I went to next. I cut some fabric that's very textured. I just sewed it to the top, but first I put these little tassels underneath so that when I sewed it, everything got caught in the top. Okay, now when I put the lace down, I did sew it across and down the side so that it wouldn't shift on me or do anything like that. Okay, so really it was a backing, a black piece of cardstock for me, but it could be anything, any color. It was a magazine image onto that. Then it was building something across the bottom for me that would tie in and blend in and cover that bottom part. Again, I used fabric, but in some of these elements, like here, you could use a paper element there that made sense to you down in here. You could even cut a drape shape out of paper. That would be good. The whole thing could be done with paper rather than fabric, but I like the three-dimensional feel and the real feel that it gives you for the Gypsy Bohemian decor that fabric gives you. All right, so I did that and put the little tie backs on there. Then a little bit of lace for the curtain sheer, and then a valance of some type of fabric. And notice all the colors that are used here. Colors very important in Bohemian and Gypsy decor, and the mix of colors and textures is unlimited. There are no rules. You can put anything together that you want, and so you start layering them up like that. The wilder the color, a lot of times the more Bohemian feel that you get, like in this scrap that I have here, oranges, magentas, blues, yellows, greens, all together make such a good color splash statement. Then these blues here are strong, and they really make a great statement. I'm going to do another one of these, and I'm going to use this fabric, which is magenta, purple, yellow, gold, orange, and this is going to be my curtain fabric over here. I think that'll be really pretty. Another one I'm going to do that's going to be a little more subdued, at least in the curtain area, is this fabric. It has sequins on it. It's brown and deep, kind of an aqua, very deep aqua with browns and sequin fabric. So that'll make a pretty curtain embellishment too. So using those, then a piece of lace. Now this is a pretty wide piece of lace, but and I didn't back it. I let the black cardstock show through, and then I put the color piece on top. Now this is, like I said, sized to go into the journal, the size that I like to work with. Let me find a page here that might this will fit inside this book. Isn't that pretty? Okay. Now, for me, when I do something like this, I don't try to put pockets and tucks and all that on it. It becomes actually a piece of fiber art, and it's a statement in itself. It's an embellishment in itself. So I leave all those other kind of embellishments to the other pages. So probably you're asking, well, what are you going to do with that now that you've got it made? Well, in order to get it in my book, this is probably what I would do. Because I've sewn all these elements, I have lots of stitching on the back that I don't want to show. So I'm going to take a piece of paper that's basically the width of my cardstock, and I'm going to make it a little wider and fold it over, okay? And this one I would glue in like that. And this one I was going to glue all the way to the edge, and then I'm going to glue a little piece of lace down this side right here. But I'm going to glue that all the way to the edge. That's going to cover all that stitching, okay? Then, for me, I'm going to take another piece, the other piece of this paper, and I'm going to glue it on to that sheet. Okay, right on the back side, just like that, so that when you fold it over, you've got an opening up, and this has a natural fold so that it becomes part of your signature once all this is glued down, okay? So now you've got your Bohemian piece, and when glued, it will open up to this piece. Now here's where you can do pockets and tucks and belly bands and all kinds of other things that you want to do to further embellish this page. But this then becomes a folded over page that simply becomes part of your signature overall, okay? All right, so it's not difficult. It doesn't take extraordinary items to make it. Most of us have some fabrics and trims and things like that in our stash, and we can adapt those. You can dye things to get the colors that you might need that you don't have. You can adapt certain things. For instance, if you had, let's say, just something like this that looks very old-fashioned, but you could use it, and if you have a little tiny strip of something else, bling it up a little bit, which changes it completely, and then you can make a curtain, like I said, out of something like that when you didn't have enough of this fabric, but you could put it on something else. Again, we're using bright colors to set our tone for the Bohemian Gypsy look. Okay, well, I hope that will get you started, and we'll be able to create these and make these inserts for our signatures. Excuse me. And you can have fun and also surprise anyone who's looking through the book, or if you're giving a gift, won't they be surprised when they open this page and see this beautiful piece of fiber art that you've created. Kind of a fantasy view here, looking outside from the inside of a Bohemian decorated home. Okay, till next time, take care. Bye-bye.